Missing video archives this week? The good news is you don't have to. You can hear the rest of this conversation and Video Archives After Show by subscribing to the Video Archives Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/video archives to subscribe today.
So let me give a bit of a history of where 2 Minute Warning came from. It's not unusual for a big studio to make a big movie that people are expecting and waiting for. And then a smaller studio makes a little exploitation movie to beat it at the punch, get out there beforehand. William Whitney's I Escape from Devil's Island, made in relation to Papillon, is a good example. Yeah. Okay, they can knock this one out real quickly, and we can get it in the theaters like a month before Papillon opens.
So catch the heat of Papillon.
Yeah, that's an example. Now, rarely is a situation where it's a big studio that does this to another big studio, because they don't want them doing it. They don't want somebody playing catch as catch can with them either. But that's not the case, especially at Universal at this time, because Universal, basically their features were these Jennings Lang kind of pre-programmed, disaster-ish kind of thrillers. This, Gray Lady Down, Roller Coaster, this was all this kind of what they did. With all-star cast, they all kind of look like TV movies to some degree.
Earthquake.
Yeah, Earthquake. And that's a real one. That's a real legit disaster movie. But 2 Minute Warning is one of the rare cases of a major studio kind of fucking with another studio. In this case, it's Universal fucking with Paramount. Because Paramount had a huge book in Thomas Harris's novel, Black Sunday. And Black Sunday was a huge book at the time, and it was one of those books that actually even got a commercial on its own. Before the movie was even made, there was the Black Sunday paperback. And so Paramount's making a huge movie based on Black Sunday, which is about some terrorists put a bunch of explosives in the Goodyear blimp that is going to be over the Super Bowl, and they're going to blow up the Super Bowl with this blimp. So that's Paramount's big movie. Well, Universal comes up with a cheap knockoff on it called 2 Minute Warning, where they're going to take and put a sniper at the LA Memorial Coliseum during Super Bowl day. And they can do that quickly, and they can get it out at the theaters quicker. And it's even done in that Universal style with all their guest stars showing up. And so they were able to have a disaster-like thing with all the little boxes of all the actors' faces, on the bottom of the poster.
Yeah. And the challenge is that you're kind of loving all the characters.
Yeah.
And you care about everyone somehow.
And like in a disaster movie, you're kind of like, I wonder who's going to live through the snipe attack. Universal is completely shameless in the trailer, which is a great trailer for the movie. They're showing the trailer as it's going on when all mayhem is breaking loose. In the trailer, they go, "This is the movie you've read about. This is the movie you've heard about." No, it's not. That's Black Sunday. No, this is the ripoff of Black Sunday that beat it to the theaters. Make no mistake.
But if you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, but if you haven't been paying attention, this is the movie you've been hearing about. This is the movie you've been reading about. Okay, here's the weird part about it. 2 Minute Warning is the better movie.
Yeah.
Than Black Sunday.
By far.
It's not the better book. I think they found a book to base it on. I have not read the book 2 Minute Warning is based on. I actually have read Thomas Harris's Black Sunday, and Black Sunday is a fantastic book. The book's much better than the convoluted John Frankenheimer movie based on it. 2 Minute Warning is the better movie, but not only is it the better movie, especially since this is kind of like a cheap jack thriller idea that they threw into place. It's a provocative thriller. The whole concept of a sniper being at the Super Bowl, that's scary today.
Yeah.
In fact, it was
this could take place today.
This could happen.
There's very little in this that...
This does not actually... This is one of the few 70s thrillers that actually would be just as thrilling today.
It hasn't aged itself out.
It hasn't aged itself out at all. And I even remember at the time, there were people talking about it in the press release for the film. Reviewers like, well, I hope there's going to be people at the next Super Bowl making sure that there's not a sniper up there.
Like literally in that one spot where they chose for the movie.
Yeah. The
ideal spot.
The bird's nest. Okay, so now, one, the idea is really good. But even though there hasn't been that many of them, it turns out that I actually happen to be a fan of sniper movies. It's a pretty cool little genre. And This movie just couldn't start out better, as far as I'm concerned. But the fact that you never really see the sniper's face, you just see his.
In fact, that's unimportant.
It's unimportant. I don't like when they show his shoes. He's wearing wallabies, and I just wish it was something wearing a little less dorky than wallabies.
It's a very interesting character,
but it's a character choice. It's a character choice.
Definitely was a character choice.
No doubt about it.
What's interesting is John Cassavetes' character, who is a SWAT guy, at some point actually says, yeah, there'll be time enough to learn about him. You're going to learn his history. You're going to know everything. You're going to know where he went to school and who his girlfriend was and everything. You're going to know everything once the news takes over on it. Cynically, he's saying that.
And in the movie, so he wakes up. You only see through his eyes or over his shoulder. And seemingly first thing he does, he gets up, he takes his rifle, he shoots randomly shoots somebody riding by on a bicycle.
Practice.
Yeah, just for practice. And then it's just about him getting to
he's for real.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going to have a problem pulling the trigger when he's up there. That's not the drama they're going after. They're letting you know right up front, this guy's a cold stone killer. He's done it once. He's going to do it again later today. It's going to be worse. And that's what they're letting you know.
And it's an interesting thing. He can shoot. He's up there from the beginning of the game, so he can fire at any point in time. And then it's a thing from the authorities once they realize he's there. It's like, well, why hasn't he started firing yet? And they come up with a pretty good idea. Well, I think he's waiting for the end.
Well, at one point, maybe he's waiting for the president who's coming.
Maybe he's waiting for the president. But the thing that made sense is, well, he'll create a lot of mayhem, and in the mayhem, he'll be able to get out of the
stadium.
Stadium.
That's his plan.
And that actually makes a little bit of sense. Maybe he didn't know he was going to get spotted, but that actually does make some sense. So on one hand, it follows a really good thriller format. Now, on the other hand, it also has its disaster movie format going on, but that disaster movie structure kind of works out, doesn't get in the way of the thriller part, and actually kind of works pretty well.
Remember, you can hear the rest of this episode ad-free by subscribing to the Video Archives Patreon. You'll also get access to the Video Archives After Show, where we play never-before-heard clips, answer your fan questions, and even play vaulted episodes. Visit patreon.com/videoarchives today for all of the details. We'll be back with a brand new episode next week.